You know, they beat FaZe, which we thought was great. You know, this is the Envy we wanted to see. Then they beat Epsilon. They start 2-0. And then they have a very slow start to a series against EG on Thursday, I believe it was. They almost make the reverse sweep happen, but we're just, as we said, we're trying to see more and more of these teams. We'll see how will Splyce, you know, open things up. And you can see, yeah, Decimate, him and Pharaoh, the two guys, they run that infantry with that instincts.
Yeah, he sprinted just straight to B and up into top red and was able to get the early pick, but as it stands, Splyce really racking up all the time. His flank through top red didn't really provide too much, at least with regards to Envy finding any kind of time. We'll see as Splyce continue to go. Envy continue to hold the spawns for next. Josh, the newcomer to Splyce, doing big things here early.
Yeah, you can already hear him getting a little bit loud on the main stage, trying to bring the energy. I feel like, you know, a 1-3 start, you have to at least try and be around 3-4, I think, around the end of the week, at least to put yourself in a position to try and fight for playoffs. Anything worse than that, I think it's a little bit scary. If you finish this week around 2-5, 1-6, there's just too many good teams. Splyce, throughout their first week, they've been competitive, right? They were there. They just didn't close out their games, and some of the more experienced teams, more skillful teams, you know, were able to beat them.
Well, Jared came on hot mic, did a great job, and he feels good about their chances to get things rolling. He was just on a 4 streak, started out 7-2 before ultimately dropping, but obviously he can be a big catalyst for this team if he can put on an incredible performance. And despite the fact that Envy has spawns right now, it's been an excellent job from Splyce, just pushing through the front, making sure Envy can't rack up any kind of time. This has been a great 2 opening hard points for Splyce.
No, it definitely has. And with those spawns, you'd see players number 2 and 7, they're dipping to the other side of the map. It's a foot race. Can Bans get this cut? It's Decimate. This is a big one-on-one. And Decimate, he just gets to the hill. He's trying to buy time. He's all alone. His teammates are still at the old hill. But they do know Decimate is over here. How much can he get? Nice shots right there onto the first. Not able to get the second. A great trade out of Josh. And, well, a 53-point lead will go to Splyce, and they're set up once again at parking lot.
And now they're going to have to deal with that spawn over by the B-bomb site. Everyone going to be pushing out, trying to flood the front. Jerd ready to greet them. Picks up one, though, before ultimately following, but the follow-up is going to be here from Bans. So Splyce continues to hold. They just got to get somebody rotated into the hard point. As Bans continues to go on a tear in the front. He's now got 3 kills in a row. He's up to 8-3 before Chino finally able to pick him up. But Envy, man, they've been so, we've talked about how phenomenal they've been statistically in hardpoint. Whether you talk about to kick off stage 2, whether you talk about Seattle. I know it's still early in this game, but it's been all Splyce.
No, it definitely has. You see like the scoreboard slaying going their way. As you expect it, though, when you're winning rotations like that, just makes it a lot easier. As soon as Envy, they're able to get a nice setup. It's only 15 seconds, but you can see that scoreboard. It starts to lit up a little bit. You have Decimate, who's on a 2-spree. Hook, he's able to get one. Hook is, I mean, his first week performance was absolutely ridiculous stats-wise. Like, he might have been the best player in week 1. You know, there was a couple others who challenged him, but Hook was.
Wasn't he like a 1-2-5 overall across all modes? Something.
Yeah, like I don't even know. He's putting up some ridiculous stats. But Splyce, they look good. I mean, when's the last time we saw Splyce outslaying a team like this? You know, you have Bans at +7, Jerd +5 as well. These guys are just getting it done.
I mean, at least statistically early in this, it reminds you a little bit of why they were able to go on that deep run at Birmingham. It's when Bans was destroying. He was that man on a mission. They look so much better, but yeah, you can't ignore Jerd either. 5 streak right now, 14-7. The 6 right in front. The gunfight, you thought maybe he was going to win and get a little bit closer to those streaks, but ultimately he does fall. Speaking of streaks, though, Bance is getting very close, and he's able to take a gunfight. Classic was actually really close to taking out both those players on streaks.
No, definitely showing a 100-point lead for Splyce. A great start for them. Teams are getting a lot better at holding that lookout post. Doing a solid job right there. As both of these guys, they're going to fight for restaurant. You can see Envy, they do win this rotation. They need to have a much better second half. Splyce, 137 points through these first rotation of hills. A great start for them. But now it's Decimate's time. What can he find? Able to find one, Classic with another. But the trades are there for Splyce. Can he stay alive? Just buy time for help for his teammates.
Well, I know we talked a lot about what Splyce was doing right in the slaying category, but for the Envy side for you, Joe, something going wrong through that first set for them?
Yeah, definitely just the rotations. You can tell they're off every single time. It just seems like Splyce is just one step ahead. And again, that will affect the scoreboard. When you have those easy setups, Splyce has to run into you, easier kills, and that's why Splyce is out slaying right now. But here we go. Envy, it seems like they're waking up here a little bit. Decimate doing a great job staying alive top restaurant.
How many times have we seen a team down big, one player starts to go off, picks up streaks, and then the game gets turned on its head? Can Decimate be the player to get that going? He's very, very close. 1 kill away from the glide bomb. We'll see if he can maybe get that and more. This time, though, they're going to be fighting through the front. They enjoyed the back ammo spawns last time. We were at Winery. It didn't work out very well for him, though. This time, can they get it done for the opposite
he's trying to wait. I would have loved to see him wait. He's got to wait for a teammate there, at least to go out first, right? Get that streak. It's too important at that point. You've played your life for so long. You did such a good job. Why run through an archway by yourself to give up a free kill? It's not like he should have went. Like, he had nobody there to help him. You know, get that streak, get that glide bomb, then you call it in. But now they're going to try and break through the front. Classic and Hoot, they're able to find a kill, but they're so staggered. Look at where numbers 6 and 7 are, just so far away from those two.
Well, we saw Splyce from a similar position pick up a lot of time and really keep EnVy out of this hard point, but when it was EnVy's turn to battle from the front, it has not gone well. Look how far out Bance is actually pushing. He's taking the gunfights to them, and they've got spawns for next, Joe.
Yeah, that's just it. That's a great job once again by Splyce on St. Marie Dumont, and I don't know if EnVy's going to expect them here. Decimate actually does able to win that. Now it's just Josh, but Josh is in a very sneaky spot.
And if I remember correctly, wasn't it Nameless last week called out Splyce a little bit about some of their hardpoint mistakes? And I think Nameless and Bance ended up kind of having a conversation about what was going wrong. Maybe helped them a little bit because he said they were reacting to things slowly. At least throughout this game, it has seemed like they have been a step ahead, like you mentioned.
No, they are very much a step ahead, and I think you look at the scoreboard, you're having a slow game from Chino, the main AR of EnVy. Typically don't see that. EnVy, though, down 90 points, but Josh, you know, he was alive for so long, felt like he finally had to make a play. He gets shut down, but that might have bought enough time for Bance and crew to push to the front, but here comes who? Yep, here he comes. As he finds two, can he find the third as well? Not able to do so, but he has help from Decimate.
Well, speaking of help, that's what Hook needs. I mean, he's going off right now. He's on a 6 streak at 20 and 16, but I think the one that stands out the most, probably we can say, is Chino. I mean, I know this map, what you can get done with the submachine guns, but he cannot be double negative in that role.
Yeah, this is big. If he's able to get that fighter pilot for the next hill, it'd be so important. But look at Jerd. He noticed. They know that Hook's been alive for a very long time. Jerd's actually switched over to Mountain already, so they're preemptively thinking that he has this fighter pilot, at least a glide bomb. So great heads-up play from Splyce. That very large 100-point lead, it's gone. And Josh was able to sneak up with Mountain and finds two.
Exactly, yeah. I was wondering, he's not reacting. Mountain, the silent footsteps allow him to just waltz up behind Green and get the kill there. So it'll just be the glide bomb. But they're back in this game, still trailing by 60 or so points. Splyce is in the hard point. And with that all clear, with EnVy spawning out, this might be where they can ice the game.
Definitely so. We'll see what EnVy's able to do. Here comes that glide bomb. He's going to find Jerd. It's a lot easier. Yes, he has Mountain, but you know he's in the hill. But now it's Josh's turn to earn some streaks. He gets a glide bomb as well. EnVy fighting for these final 25 seconds. Splyce just need 26 to close out game number 1. Madcat, he is able to find a kill, but we know we're going to talk starting about that rotation over to Restaurant. You can see Bance, he's already heading there.
Bance, set up inside. He's got one. It looks like just went top red. They're going to engage on the steps, and that's going to go to Chino. Bance still just waiting patiently. Good job there. Snaps to the back and almost picks up Chino as well. But the bar, we know the damage it can do up close. So Chino keeps the dreams of EnVy alive here. They've got to be flawless now on Restaurant. Every second so deadly that goes towards Splyce. And so far they're holding up. And not only do they need to win this, it's the next rotation that's probably going to be the most crucial here.
No, definitely so, but we see this a lot of times. A team like Splyce, they have a 50 to 60 point lead, right? And they start to just focus on spawns for so long where you allow a team like EnVy to get back into it. But just like that, Josh and Madcat find some kills. But I was going to say, it gets kind of risky because then, yes, you focus on Winery in that rotation. But if EnVy break you, they're right back into it. Chino, he gets some streaks. He was having a very slow game. He was 12 and 22. And, well, he's going to put the pressure on Winery with those streaks. Can he find another one?
How many times have we seen it? One guy kind of struggling, comes alive, and turns the game around. He's going to invest this right now.
They're going to try and win the rotation right here, right now. But I don't know. On the other side of the map is Hook, and Chino actually got killed. So I don't know if I agree with that. They were trying to win it through that radio tower, but Classic, he's pushing to the back. Big one-on-one right here versus Bance. Not able to win it. Josh is on the hill as well. This could be it for Splyce.
EnVy. They've got to break, and they've got to break quickly. Only 15 points needed for Splyce right now. They've got a chance up the front, but Jerd able to find the first. Wraps back. Classic going to drop as well. There's one more remaining player here. The glide bomb going to drop him. EnVy spawning out. Game 1 goes to Splyce.
And it was a very quiet performance, but I believe that last second, Josh ended with 30 kills, so a great game out of him. You know, we were talking about Jordan Vance, but out of nowhere, Josh steps up, the newcomer for Splyce. A great game 1 from them.
Well, it's great. You know, Jordan Vance are a big part of the reason. Obviously, you get that kind of 100-point advantage early in the game. You're stomping, but once it starts to get close, sometimes that's where those veterans step up, come up with the big plays, and Josh, again, the newcomer. They take a hard point off of Envy, which has been a very difficult thing for just about every team to do, at least since they've formed. So that's an impressive victory for Splyce.
I'll tell you what, though. Last night we had the Pro League Challenge, right? Myself and Phil casted over that. Envy ended up winning that. They went down 0-1 in every series, and then they won the next 3. So they did lose some hard points last night. Yes, it was online, a completely different story, but
that's good to know. That's interesting because we haven't seen that really be an issue for this team, at least on land.
And I think it's good that they were winning. You know, we kept talking about it, winning game 2, search and destroy, because where was Envy struggling? It was at S&D. So if they continue to get better at that, if they can bounce back in those map 5 series, like that's big for them.
Yeah, again, we talked about like Envy hasn't necessarily been tested that much, at least through week 1. They stomped FaZe, they stomped Epsilon, and then what was the one loss they had?
EG,
and that was a real kind of test. At least it looks like it right now. So see what they can do here. But I think you can definitely say a much more important series for Splyce right now. Envy isn't out leading the pack necessarily, but sitting at 2-1, they feel pretty comfortable. Yeah. And that's like these weeks, man. You can't, with how competitive this group is, you can't have like that 0-3 week for Epsilon, the 0-3 week for FaZe. Like, are they necessarily out of it? Well, I guess Epsilon maybe, but for FaZe, are they necessarily out of it? No, but like you string together 2 weeks like that, you might be.
Well, that's awesome. I think for Splyce, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like they need at least 3 wins. I think by the end of this week, they have to be around 3 and 4. Envy, they can't get too comfortable. They're just 2-1. They have a 4-game week this week. If they lose this, just like that, you're at 2-2. Gets a little bit scary, but we're gonna have Valkyrie Search and Destroy up next. We've seen, I believe Splyce play this one a good amount. You know, we saw some ridiculous clutches last night. You and I were talking about it. We were very excited about London Docks TTF after that. It's going to be a great series, but Envy, it just seemed like it was just a slow start. You know, they are the first match of the day.
It's true.
A lot of the times these guys get here, they have the 3rd or 4th match. They've been scrimming for 2 to 3 hours. Here, they're the first teams here. They're the only teams in the building. Everyone else is going to get lunch.
Well, you see there at the bottom, though, Joe, Anaheim, one of our favorite events of the entire year. It starts on your birthday, June 15th to 17th. I told you, buddy, I'm going to remember your birthday. I only know yours, Kat's, and my own now, but I'm going to remember it forever. But you can go to mlg.com/CWL Anaheim, pick up tickets. If you can only go to a couple events throughout the year, Champs and Anaheim are the 2 you want to be at, and tickets are on sale for both. Go buy tickets. Don't be a silly Sally.
It's actually crazy. You know,
Joe and I'll take you out to dinner.
Yeah, absolutely. You just come up to us, and we'll just take a big group. We'll go to like
dinner. I'll try and expense it.
We'll see how that goes.
All right, map 2 underway. Offense first now for Envy. Classic will be your bomb carrier, and Joe, let's see how this hit develops.
Yeah, we can already see Envy. We've seen them do this before. They smoke off that B cross, and they're already through. They play so fast. There's a follow-up from Hook. You know, again, Envy, that one team, they always have Mountain on. Consistently have Mountain. Hook, he's able to find one, put some shots in the bands, but Decimate's there as well. Now a 2 versus 2, but they don't expect that early rotation from Splyce. Mad Cat able to find Classic. Oh, they
brought Decimate to this team to make these plays, and he's making it. Jerd tagged up, has to finish it, but Jerd able to win the gunfight. I thought Decimate had the edge after getting a couple bullets in, but it doesn't look like he was actually all that weak. Maybe he was more of a wall bang. Yeah. I thought he got a couple good hits in, but I wonder why Jerd was just holding the angle. I would have probably dipped and got a little bit of health back, but he holds it and wins the gunfight.
What do you think about those new Envy jerseys? You like the white ones? I like them.
I do too. I actually like them a lot.
Yeah, they're pretty dope.
They've had what? Blue and black?
Yeah.
They had white at some point?
No.
Maybe not in their history. Well, I mean, I know you played with them for a while.
We had gray. Gray was sick.
Oh, the grays were sick.
The grays are sick. The light grays, yeah, those were a lot of fun. But here we go. Splyce, they're going to start to push towards this outer side, towards this elbow. There's a nice stun there. I don't think if that hit anybody. It might have got a tag, but Envy, they have 3 towards that A site, 1 towards B. Here we go. Splyce starting to move towards that operations bunker.
Decimate just trying to find the angle. Spots Mad Cat for a second. The shots are on point. That'll be the 3rd kill for him. And the man advantage in this round. Pook dealing with multiple players there on the top street. Just trying to reposition for a different angle, but complete control right now from Envy.
Yeah, Jordan Josh, though, they actually push on through. Envy gave up that position. I was going to say, Jordan and Josh are very separated from Bance, I believe, but they're able to just get on in.
And that's where, I mean, Hook, we saw him peek out, kind of got vision on the players, wrapped to check the other doorway, and the timing just worked out really nice for Splyce. They hit right there after he gives it up, and they're able to take that 2-on-1.
Yeah, now Classic, he's going to get potentially reflanked as he does find one on Josh. Just 16 seconds left, though. He knows the pressure's coming in, just trying to buy time. Pre-fires a door. Bance wins a one-on-one, and he's able to clean that up. Now just 10 seconds left. Chino versus Jerd. 8 seconds left. Chino, he knows the pressure's going to be in. Jerd, another one-on-one. Can he win this one? He might have found time. Nice shots out of Jerd, able to close that out. That's 2 1v1s from him.
Jerd just continues to clutch, man. On Hot Mic, we showed his 1v3 and his 1v4 from last week. Well, when the odds are a little bit easier, he could still get it done, but that's not an easy gunfight.
Those, I was just
Chino
about
on
to
the card.
say,
That is not an easy gunfight.
That is not easy at all. So a couple of very close rounds, once again, go the way of Splyce.
Jerd continues to be the S&D clutch king. We'll see if he's got anything more left in him. But right now, they're going to enjoy that early 2-0 edge. And we just had a couple of really tight rounds.
See what Envy decides to do. Jerd playing so aggressive, actually gets caught out. Just took a risk there. Chino peeks out the window, able to spot him. You saw he had airborne instincts on. He was trying to find a timing.
He's trying to keep Envy honest.
Yeah, no, he was trying to find a timing. If they would have went to A, like their normal strategy, he probably would have found a couple. Just took the risk, doesn't pay off. Another first blood for Envy. 3 versus 4, a minute left, and they have a ton of time to work with.
Just looking for the opening here. Perhaps that's it. Hook's able to pick up a kill. Bance gets tagged from the opposite side, tries to push out, and will end up falling. So Envy now putting their first round on the board in this search. Finally, they're able to prevent a 1v1 versus Jerd.
Yeah, just avoid that situation. Yeah. Just kill Jerd. You kill Jerd, you win.
Yeah, you're fine.
That was the cleanest round that we've seen so far. See now Envy back on defense. See what Splyce are able to do.
All right, here they go. They're flying straight towards B, so Chino going to be the man that needs to make the play. Chino really the only one that can make a play, at least gun up until a rotation maybe comes in from Classic.
Yeah, but they actually stopped. Splyce just stopped at the doorway. They didn't commit to it, and that allows Hoot to find Mad Cat. Nades do come in. Classic finds a really good timing, able to get another one, and just like that, it's a 1v4. Yeah. But it is Jerd. Okay.
If they just soared out, they probably would have been all right. I mean, they really just had Chino, it felt like, to deal with. Who was the first one to get picked in? Kind of the fourth man on the train there? The guy in the back?
I'm not exactly. It might have been Mad Cat. Maybe he was just peeking inside A, and he got caught out by Hook.
Because on the minimap, when I looked at it for a second, it just looks like Chino's about to get swarmed, and then suddenly
they just stopped.
It all slows down, yeah.
So back-to-back rounds for Envy.
Could have just been some nades.
And I mean, if they clutch up their 1v1s, this could be 4-0.
That is true. All right, let's see what Envy opt to do with the bomb this time. They hold a 3-1 advantage in first bloods right now.
Here's that smoke strategy that we've seen so often from Envy, but it seems like Splyce has made adjustments to deal with it. Vance finds one, Jerd finds another. Just like that, it's a 2 versus 4.
Yeah, they didn't have a whole lot of trouble with that at all. The strat falls apart very, very quickly. And now we'll see if Chino and Decimate can make the play. Decimate's been spotted and tagged. Chino trying to find any kind of opening on the other side. How do you even try to play this in 2v4? I know you got a lot of time, but what options do you have?
Yeah, you got to try and find a pick, and I think Chino's going to be the guy to do it. Vance spots him. Here comes the pinch. Nice read from Chino, but Josh gets that kill. So maybe isolate that guy that's on B. Decimate does find one. There we go. Splyce finally with a bit of a cleaner round, but it's just that first blood. So what Envy try to do is smoke off that cross to the B bomb right on that middle of the street. But Splyce, they were ready for it. And I think that's what Jerd was trying to do the defensive round before that, was catch him with airborne, but they adjust properly. Good defense from Splyce.
Splyce completely dismantling what Envy's trying to do, at least in the opening of that round. Let's see what we can do here. Right into the action.
And here we go. It looks like Splyce, are they going to commit to it now? No, that's sort of the same setup. They just get to this position. Maybe they don't want Envy to rush out towards the middle of that street.
So it's Matt Cat. I think his position is a little bit different from where he got picked last time. Yeah.
But what's the strat? Okay, so there's a smoke. So this is what Envy does. Just, 20 seconds into the round. It's a little bit more delayed. Now they go. But Chino, he's not, I mean, they catch out Chino perfectly. That sort of baited him out. They thought that the pressure was going to come from the middle part.
Well, now you can see maybe what they were trying to get done a couple rounds ago. 3-on-3 now. Josh did get it planted. Hook's got vision on a couple. Mad Cat though with the flank.
Gotta be careful. He's very loud right now. There we go. Finds Chino. That's a big kill. But he's getting reflanked by Decimate. Now you have a 1v2 for Bance.
20 seconds on the clock, so not a ton of time to work with. Bance makes it a 1v1. Decimate's got to go. He knows where he is. He's trying to fly forward. Decimate somehow wins that gunfight and will get there just in the nick of time. I thought he was dead to rights. Did Bance's bullets just stop connecting there? Like, it looked like he had him dead.
I have no idea.
Can we see that again?
I was just about to ask the producer.
Yeah,
I was literally just about to ask Ethan.
I thought Bance looked. Well, his face is how I feel. Like, it looked like his shots were on target. Maybe just missed a wee bit there, Joe.
I mean, I don't know if it was as soon as he got shot, sort of the flinch, just sent it straight up.
It might have absolutely just been the flinch. Might have to check it out later. But, wow.
All right, so Envy, they throw that smoke again, but they don't hit through the middle of the street. They push through outer B. Josh, he knows he has to just stay alive. I like that play, just backing on up. If they do plant the bomb, just play a 4v4 or retake. We saw Envy was able to do it just a round ago.
Kills for either side. 3v3, Bance just barely gets away with his life. And
that baited Hook?
Yep, absolutely. Jerd's then able to finish off that kill. Now Classic and Decimate in this 2v3. Classic's got that bomb over by the B site, just trying to decide what to do with it. He's loud. He's going to stomp on in. He pre-fires the edge. That little bit of repositioning from Bance away from the corner actually works wonders for him, because you saw he just tries to hip fire the corner. The explosion for the grenade maybe throws off his vision a little bit, and Bance is able to take the gunfight.
And this was just a weird round. Like, if you're Envy, you sort of get B control. You back off Josh. You don't plant the bomb, nothing. Like, Hook chases a kill middle of A. Classic then has to challenge a 1v1. I'm not exactly sure how Chino got picked, but just felt like the round fell apart. You did everything correctly. You had the opportunity to plant the bomb at B, and they just don't.
And now Decimate just playing for streaks at this point. He's 450 out of 700 for the glide bomb. He's having a great game. He's 7-3 right now. He's been last alive a lot, though, so he's been finding some kills there. But if he's able to get these streaks, could be huge. Not a lot of room to do it with not a lot of rounds to play as Splyce finds their fourth there.
Yeah, but back and forth, these teams are fighting on this map number 2. If you're just joining us, game 1 went to Splyce in a pretty convincing fashion. They look good from start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, the final score ended up being a little bit closer, but they had a lead throughout the entire game.
Yep.
And a big one early.
Envy now back on defense. What will Splyce do? It's looking like a B hit. Vance, he's just going to shoulder peek this. Shots coming through the wall. But this is what Splyce has been doing a couple of offensive rounds, just setting up. 20 or 30 seconds go by, then they have some smoke strats to fall on.
Right now, the crossfire working for Envy. You've got the bar on Classic watching one angle, and then Hookie still has this nade to work with. So that's going to buy him. I was going to say buy him more time, but Bance just soars through it. Unfortunately for him, still 2 players there from Envy that are able to get the trades to go in their favor. Mad Cat and Josh now going to have to try and clutch up in this 2 versus 3. It looked good for a moment as they found the first kill, but so much presence from Envy on the A site.
Yeah, and now you can see the bombs down, and look at the positioning of Chino. You know, in such a good spot, he can watch over his teammates, has such positioning on the map. They have to know that bomb's down. There's that audio cue. That drops. Classic, he's able to find Mad Cat. Now you just have Josh in 1v3. He gets cleaned up. So what, 4-4?
And did Decimate get one? We'll have to wait. We can check. But he was getting pretty close to streaks. I don't know if he actually... I think he got 1 kill in that round.
So that would put him on, what, 550?
Yeah, I might have made that up, though. We'll check the score when we get back to it. But, I mean, if this does go the distance and he even gets 1 streak, could be huge for that round 11. Let's see. Yeah, looks like he did. So 550 out of 700.
Not going to give him the bomb. They're going to keep it with Classic. We'll see what Envy can do. They haven't had much presence towards the A side. It's been all B and sort of working through middle with some smokes. But right now it looks pretty much like a default strategy. They're just spread out trying to find a pick.
And do you think, that you don't opt to give Decimate the bomb here because, well, this particular map in Search, it's not really easy to get a plant down at either site? Like, there's not really a quick plant per se?
I guess, but it's always like if we clear out a site, I want him to plant the bomb if he has 550 points.
Yeah, just unusual. I expected them to give it to him for sure. But that won't be the play call. Now Jared might get a wondrous timing here. He almost did. Hook was facing the other direction for just a moment. Now his spot's going to give it up. He's going to back up to the barrels here wisely.
I feel like these are two of the hardest players in the game to kill. Hook and Jared just playing one-on-one versus one another. Well, Jared, he has some help from Mac out with that nade. Chino does find one, and that could have been bad. He's very weak once again. They cannot finish this kill, and he ends up getting it.
What a play by Jared, just dancing with death there that entire time on the barrels. Phenomenal timing with the grenade as well from Mad Cat. Whew. Jared finally going to drop now. Decimate is the only man up. He's been last alive so many times, but this is big. So Classic drops a bomb, then Decimate's able to get the plant, and now he has one streak. So he has the glide bomb to work with. He's in a clutchable situation, and if he finds these 2 kills, you're now talking about him being fully streaked out. So this is massive right now.
Yeah, we know how many clutches we had last week, and Decimate put another one on the board. How does he read this? Josh is trying to peek this corner. Decimate finds the early shots. Where's the trade? There it is. Great job by Splyce to wait for one another. Maybe these teams learn from their mistakes from last week, because last week was some sloppy, but a great play.
Yeah, it works out. I thought once Decimate shot the first player, he was going to go. I thought he had to pick and go, because as soon you assume the second player is going to come from another angle there. But that's a tough spot, obviously, from where he opted to play. He would have had to kind of burn the first guy and snap to the second. But he did get the glide bomb, so that's the one silver lining here. Down around, have a glide bomb to work with, but wow, a clutch there could have been just absolutely massive for Envy. Full streaks and 5-4 advantage.
Yeah, could have closed the game out, but now it's Envy back on defense, and Splyce looks like they're going to attack A. Nades come in, Jerd just flies on in, but Hook wins the gunfight, but Josh is on the flank. He's able to find 2. Just like that, it's a 2 versus 2.
What a play from Josh here to even the odds. Envy need to take this to push it to around 11. Josh going to go ahead and get this bomb planted. What a Classic and Chino going to be able to do. And what do you think about the positioning right now, Mad Cat?
Okay, so he's just watching the flank, but oh, that's a big kill out of Classic. He absolutely melts Josh. And we'll see Chino and Classic are just trying to find any information they can. Maybe Classic just jumps on it. Yeah, looks like he's going to do that. There we go, but Mad Cat's able to find him. Now it's a 1v1. He knows the pressure could come in fast. Chino pops up on the window, clutches that 1v1, and we're headed to a round 11.
So many 1v1s, so many tight rounds throughout this game, too. And, of course, it all comes down.
That's such a selfless play, though, out of Classic. It's kind of like, all right, Chino, I trust you in this 1v1 situation. I'm going to hop the defuse. I'm going to make him peek me. If he doesn't, we win the round. If he does, you have his position. You have the advantage.
That's kind of why I asked you about Mad Cat's spot, because I didn't think they knew where he was.
Yeah.
Right? But by Classic hopping on it, they get the information, and you rely on Chino to clutch up.
And there's a lot of people who won't do that. And they'll continue to find and look for him, and then by that time, it's just way too late. That's where those clutches come in. But Envy on offense in this round 11. So very slow round from them.
Here's that glide bomb.
Oh, yep.
I feel like we talked about him trying to get for so many rounds. He's going to be able to make some call-outs to his teammates. Not going to find any kills, but that call-out might have been enough for Classic to get the pick. So 4v3 advantage. And look at it. It's 6-5 right now if you think about the first bloods. Advantage to Envy. Is that what they win it behind?
To see. They're all in operations bunker right now. They don't have the control of a bomb. Wow, what a kill. But there's the trade. Chino follows up with a nice nade.
That's a big trade. That is a big trade. Because Jared, man, that was a fast kill.
And Josh, the confidence on him to push up towards the middle of that street. And he finds Decimate. Now you have a 2v2.
What do you know? Another 2v2. Bance and Josh for Splyce against Classic and Chino. Classic and Chino, they clutched that previous round against Mad Cat and Josh. Not a lot of time on the clock.
Bance is going to peek first.
He's able to get the plant down, though. Josh comes in from behind. Josh able to find the kill. Challenge with the pistol. Classic wins it. Now going to be a one-on-one. It's down to Bance and Classic, able to win the gunfight. A game 2 just littered with 1v1s. How many was it, 5?
Yeah, that was a lot of 1v1s. And Vance, he ran out of ammo. He had to swap to that pistol. I mean, he had time to reload. He didn't have to challenge that at all, but he goes for the repeat. Classic able to win that one, and you can see the frustrations on the guys of Splyce.
Well, think about it. I mean, Bance has got to be frustrated. You watch Jerd clutch 1v1s your teammate, and then Bance has the one where maybe it was, I don't know, sway or a little bit of flinch where he loses a 1v1 against who? Chino, that I think he probably should, or Decimate, whoever it was, that he should have won. Then it comes to that, another one-on-one that I think you could argue he could have won that as well.
Definitely so.
Wow. Well, as it stands, though, game 1 to Splyce, game 2 to EnVy. Who's going to take the London Dock CTF? Guys, we'll find out after this quick break. Welcome back. I hope you had a great 3 minutes. I didn't, Joe. We got out of that. I had a voicemail from, I believe, the moving company telling me they're ready to deliver my stuff tomorrow. My stuff's not supposed to be delivered until June 19th. It's supposed to be in storage because that's when my new apartment's ready.
Yeah, that's a long time away.
I don't have time to deal with it right now because we're casting some Call of Duty, so I'm hoping my stuff is not being delivered somewhere.
Well, if you're just joining us, Clint, his stuff's being delivered to a place he doesn't live.
Oh, God.
Splyce win map 1.
Never
EnVy
move.
Bounce
Never move.
back. Take map 2, but here we go. London Dock, CTF, and as I said, last night, EnVy in the Pro League Challenge, this is what they did. They were losing game 1, and then they'd win the next 3. Can that trend continue here? But just like that, Splyce, 4 go down for EnVy, and well, they
also,
may have a flag for them.
If anyone on the production side is listening, can we turn the air up a little bit? My ears are sweating. Thank you.
Yes.
Dude, you know it's hot when your ears are sweating.
That's actually true, but well, Splyce go up. Splyce go up 1-0 already in game 3, and Vance, he is still alive and fire. Hook, though, able to find him. And you know, we were having this discussion, Phil and I, yesterday, how a lot of teams or a lot of matches don't have London Dock CTF too much because the pace of it, you know, some people feel like Flak Tower on N4 is a little bit more balanced, like, you know, you can play a little bit more fundamental because you just saw what happens. If 4 go down, you lose a flag.
Well, yeah, I think part of it, too, is just that no one likes being spawn trapped at times, and you can really get pinned on a map like this. But EnVy right now, they're trailing by 1 early in this after tying up the series at 1 apiece. The new squad, they've been looking great, but I do want to hear the comms. Let's hop over to an Astro listen in here with Team EnVyUs.
Pulled water.
Oh, Mad Cat got streaks.
Pulled water.
Mad Cat's top water.
Yeah,
I'd
he's
be
top
fire.
water.
He glide.
He's front fire, he's front fire.
On fire, Mad Cat.
We twin
Yeah,
aid.
it's full streaks.
He-
Got
he-
the
he-
fire,
he-
he's
he-
fire
one's
from
gate,
fire.
one's away.
I need help in fire, guys. Two in there.
Got me.
Hold.
Three.
One more fire behind him. Try to wall bait.
Oh, it's fucking London. We can make a comeback.
Yeah, I need a flag.
Flag on middle.
Flag weak.
One shot's fucked, bro.
Oh, he got through, bro.
Oh,
Great steps.
Great steps.
In front beer.
Where's Mad Cat? He's in fire still, bro. We haven't had fire control this entire game.
But couple away.
One more on their back.
Oh, give me a sec. I'll come down by your steps.
Vance might go green.
We got flag. That's that flag. No, black card.
Flag. He pulled a crane.
Crane.
I can kill.
No, he's weak green steps. Nice. Alright, one's green steps to beer. Alright.
Using mountain because they have streaks.
Okay.
Water steps and gate.
Weak.
Gate's going. Still holding it.
Just one shot. Gate,
Where is he?
One shot. Do you think that's gonna be great steps, probably?
Getting fire. He's front fire somewhere.
Front fire.
I think he's at the heady front fire.
Yeah,
Cold.
great steps.
Cold.
Oh, great steps.
One ladder.
Great steps, absolute.
They're just getting behind us every life.
I know.
Can you guys hear me? I literally
Yeah.
called out great steps.
Yeah, I know. He was.
Alright, just try to get a fire control. One's gonna be front fire, probably. We're coming
Spider.
in.
Dead.
Nice, he's doing guy. Yeah, we're coming middle of the gate. One might gonna be.
Alone it.
It's 4-0 right now for Splyce. What you heard there in the comms was likely a bit of frustration from
A lot of frustration.
They're getting pounded in the opening 3 minutes here. But Joe, what did you love about that?
I mean, you just heard the guy. Like, Chino was like, listen, I called out the guy at Gray Stairs. If someone was like, they keep getting behind us. Chino's like, did you hear me? Like, there is somebody here. Like, they couldn't find Mad Cat for a while. They were trying to hunt him down. You saw 1v1 challenges. People were like, oh, he's 1 away from full streaks. Someone 1v1'd him. They lost it. Oh, man, now he's got full streaks. Just a ton of frustration. And, I mean, when you look at these guys on cam, they just look a little tired. They look a little bit out of it. That's, again, sort of the first match of the day. Splyce is bringing it. EnVy is not.
I would have thought that the Pro League Challenge ended at 4 a.m.
No, it ended at 9:30, and I was very happy about that. I was very happy.
Speaking of timing, and while EnVy looked like they're going to get a score out, throw a flag out here momentarily. Oh, look at that split spawn that comes in. Are they going to be ready for this, though? Josh on one side, Vance on the other.
Yeah, Hook.
They still have to deal with Vance. Mad Cat's going to invest a streak here. This isn't home free yet. This is not home free. That actually hits the roof. I don't know if that actually gets through.
Oh, but they got the read. They got the return. I was going to say, they didn't find Hook with Mountain. Hook had Mountain on middle of the map, and he was staying alive. But that return does come in. But you heard Hook in the listening. The one positive thing is, hey, guys, this is London. We can come back. And that's what we always talk about. And they have another flag out. Things are starting to heat up now. You see Hook. He's on a 4 spree. Chino's on a 4 spree. Things going well for EnVy.
Starting to come alive, maybe get some streaks and start to rally this comeback. We've seen bigger swings than 4 caps. This is absolutely doable for EnVy, and there you do see the glide bomb is going to come in with 30 seconds remaining. They want to use it right away. They want to try and rally this, get more scores on the board. They go for Mad Cat in the back, but that's not going to connect, so Decimate going to have to try and make the play here. has a little bit of help to work with. That's going to be Classic. Well, Classic's actually going to drop inside a barrel, so that push should be thwarted for the moment. They only got 10 seconds really to get a touch.
Yeah, you saw Chino. They were just trying to keep that momentum going. He tried to glide bomb. They're still here. They're trying to get a touch, sending this into overtime, but it's just Hook now. He's got to go. He's not going to do it in Splyce. A great half from them, leading 4-1.
Oh, what was it I wanted to, oh, yes, there was something I wanted to tell you, and then that started to get a little crazy. Speaking of, we were asking about when the Pro League Challenge ended, and I just started thinking about gamer time. I'm here, eating lunch, getting ready for the day.
It was taco day.
Kick out my shirt, get some tacos. Jerd comes in to give him a fist bump, and he goes, "Good morning, Maeve." And I was like, "What?" I look at my phone. It's 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, no, these
gamers,
2 p.m.
man.
Yeah, we changed the schedule a little bit, We used to start at 4 p.m. Now we start at 2 p.m.
Oh, it was just so funny.
2 p.m. is about, I think, like 10 a.m. for us, for these guys.
Good morning. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Jerd, though, he is awake as he finds 2. He's going to start to push the base. He's having a great game at 11 or 10 and 8, and he's got a couple of flag caps. Not able to win that one. Hook, though. Hook is coming alive.
That's everybody now wiped off the board for Splyce. So EnVy going to be able to get forward, and some early scores here, some early pressure. Huge if they want to mount this comeback. But again, this is not Arden Forest. This is not Flag Tower. Trailing by 3, very, very doable still.
Yeah.
This could be the opening. 2 players going to drop for Splyce. One overextending is going to be Jerd. Madcat's going to...
Oh, I like this play. They're going to try and time this so that Jerd can get away with the flag. They can turn this into a score, but the EnVy flag carrier does get in the fire, so no casualties from that fighter pilot.
I mean, that picks up a couple kills. That could have been beautiful for Splyce.
Yeah, it definitely could have been. But there was one player who spawned water. That was Bance. Pressure. And EnVy, no, they can't have much of a stalemate. They'll just waste way too much time. So the pressure's already on Classic. He has a 1 versus 1 against Jerd. The pre-fire's there. Both these teams, there's a glide bomb. And there we go. They're able to get the return, but the pressure is on as Chino finds Josh as well. And it's 4-2 now.
And suddenly you have a chance to make another play. You still have Classic coming in the rear. Classic's going to go ahead and grab this, and he's going to go ahead and take it top mid. Another player coming off a spawn. He's got help here from Hook top mid. Hook's able to win that gunfight. He still has a couple streaks to work with. And suddenly, from 4-1 to 4-3 in what seems like the blink of an eye.
That's what Hook was talking about in that listening, but now the pressure's on for Splyce. The counter is up. And we'll see as you have one player inside Cold Room. That's Bance. He's able to find one. Madcat, he's pushing low water. They're pinching from both sides. Is EnVy going to be ready for this? It doesn't look like it. I love this play from Splyce, but Decimate's still alive. They clean him up. Are there any streaks on the side of EnVy? It looks like Hook's not moving. There's the fighter pilot.
He had a couple left.
Yeah, he's going to try and get Bance. He's able to do so.
But you still have what? Madcat's still here to get a touch. Look at the overextension on the other side.
Artillery. Oh, I don't know if you put that just a little bit too close. I was going to say.
Chino's going to get there, though.
Yeah, he is going to get there. There's an opportunity. And Madcat's ready. Chino's got to peek this. Not able to do so.
Oh, my God. He had to kill him like a
half-second earlier.
If not less. Like, that was unreal. I was actually trying to think of what was less than a half second. My brain stopped working, so I didn't get it.
All right, but both flags are out. Decimate, he gets away, and this is great for Splyce. Just waste time. 2 minutes. How many chances are EnVy going to have at this? They're only down 2 now. Still have artillery. Oh, but the flag was taken down by Hook.
1/10 of a second. That's what I was trying to think of.
I know. It's fine.
It's the heat. It's 85 degrees in here, Joe. All right, well, 2 minutes remaining. Jerd with 1 flag, Decimate with the other. Hook invests all his streaks, so I think you're out of everything. And now this is where it gets scary. Bance in a position now to take a 1-on-1. He actually has a 2-on-1, but he's got help from Josh there as well.
Oh, but Decimate wins that, but is he going to expect Josh to be
here?
Yes, he is. He's running at him.
Yes, he is.
Wow, what a play from Decimate.
Unfortunately for EnVy, Madcat kind of makes the play on the other side, but Decimate still gives him a chance in this. He doesn't make that play, it's over.
Can we go to Decimate really quick? How close is he to streaks? Yeah, he's just 1 kill away from a glide bomb. He's got to go.
Yeah.
EnVy knows they have to go. They're going to try and make this a 4v4. If he can find a kill, he can invest into that streak. There's Jerd with it. He's going to back down up now. Hook with some nice shots, able to find one. And they're still going, and there's going to be a bit of a pinch as the EnVy players, they spawn low driveway.
Oh, they're taking the flag low driveway, but there's 2 players here. There's 2 players here. Jerd's going to pick up 1. Is he going to expect a second? Oh,
but his teammate
nice help there. Madcat able to do it. Hook, though, still with an opportunity for a 1-on-1.
It's a tough shot.
Jerd's got the window.
Oh, but that's flag. Decimate's here. He's got to win this one.
He's got the streaks.
But he's backing away. Hopefully he can find time. There is pressure top middle. That's Bance, and Artillery is low water. He's got to get inside now. This is ridiculous. Here come the streaks from Decimate. Glide bomb on in. 40 seconds left. Mad Cat, he
It's down, it's down. Here's the return.
It's not there. It's not there yet. There we go. But the Artillery's still up. He's going to put Artillery. He's going to try and spawn trap Splyce.
And he's still.
But there's one guy left, Bance. Are they going to find Bance? Bance is in fire. Bance gets a kill on Hook. That's a big play.
Score, and I assume the fighter pilot's going to come in pretty quickly here. Classic gets a touch, but can't get away, and the fighter pilot's going to come in with no one to play behind it. 15 seconds remaining.
They had to get Bance?
And there's nobody there. If you had one more player from EnVy, maybe you could make the play behind that fighter pilot. But this is why we love London Dock CTF. The final couple minutes, pure insanity.
I had no idea what was going on.
Splyce is able to hold on. You realize that Decimate with the flag basically did it. He did a full lap. He started at their flag, pushed all the way down the B street, got in gunfights on the flag, ran then what, like into
gate
warehouse basically. Like he basically did a full lap before he got that score. And I may have exaggerated how large the lap was, but he was all over the damn map as they were trying to make that play. It was nuts.
Yeah, that could have been scary. Classic and Hook had an opportunity to get, it was just Bance. And Classic right there had a 1 versus 1. If he wins that versus Bance, that time flag is probably home. But what a play out of Splyce. That 4-1 lead that they had in that first half got scary, but they held on to it.
I would have liked to hear the comms during that bit, just because it had to have been a bit of insanity. So many streaks invested. So many crucial gunfights on either side. Oh man, that would have been such a cool, like, I mean, Splyce obviously they clutch up and get the win, but like I almost felt like we were watching the story of Decimate over that final 90 seconds. Like he gets the 2 kills in his base to like keep them alive in that, then has to go and find kills on the other side. Finally gets the score, and imagine he calls that fighter pilot, kills all 3, and then they get the rally. That would have been one of the nuttier sequences we've seen. But yeah, EnVy falls a little bit short, so Splyce will take control, but wild sequence there down the stretch. Now it's going to come down to this hard point to see if EnVy can survive and push it to a Game 5. I wouldn't be shocked considering the amount of Game 5s we've had.
Yeah, so far.
Week 1, yeah.
Yeah, it's been a crazy division already. We knew that this one was, but EnVy and Splyce, they are just fighting back and forth, some close, ridiculous games. I will say, though, EnVy, it seems like they're starting to wake up a little bit, you know, especially during that second half. Yeah, you had a 250 to 206, but Splyce had very much control of St. Marie. Valkyrie was a round 11 win, and then right there, a crazy CTF.
Unbelievable stuff. And you just think maybe if, I don't know, EnVy could have turned it around a little bit earlier in that first half when you heard the frustration in the Astro game and listening, but you saw the frustrating scoreline was 4-0 early for Splyce. I mean, honestly, if EnVy, at least in the respawns, can just stop these early holes, like they go down really big and both the respawns, can they avoid that here in Game 4? What was Valkyrie, right?
Yep. I'm going to be honest, we can, when we look at some of these players, you can tell it's early for them. you're like, man,
good
you
morning.
Look tired.
I thought it was gonna be like 8 a.m.
You're like, wait, am I early?
Oh, what did Krim tweeted something. He's like, he tweeted something that made me laugh this weekend. I think he was up at like 8 or 8:30, and he said up at unhuman hours today or something like that. I was like, no, Krim, this is like a normal time most people wake up. Oh, that's great. Back to Valkyrie. Last time we were on this map, it was a crazy game too. I think we had 5 1v1s. It all came down to around 11. What will the hard point give us? Decimate, you know, again, you mentioned kind of in map 1, you saw it. A lot of time you're going to see this infantry kind of 4-stacked PPSH. This time, I think it Instincts last time. This time we were rocking Hunker.
Yeah, especially on a map like Valkyrie, right? It's so many nades just in, but Classic, wow, nice shots from Bance. But trades back and forth. EnVy have early control of ventilation. But here comes the pinch. There's one more player. That's Josh. I don't think EnVy's going to expect him to be there. Now the pressure coming from the operation side. Nice shots from Decimate. Has extended med. He can shoot all day long.
Now, I know we've seen, obviously, 3 different game modes at this part. Splyce has managed to win 2 of them, but with their struggles last week, are you seeing a different Splyce team this week in any ways?
I mean, I think through their first hard point, they looked a lot better, but they were competitive every single match last week. I will say their slaying in the hard point seems to be a bit more alive. It got a little scary there in the CTF. But once again, I think Splyce in all 4 of their matches, they competed in it, right? Like they were a competitor throughout all of them. they just ended up losing 3.
I mentioned it on Hot Mic, but I've talked to 3 different teams or seen tweets from like 3 different
We
teams.
could be 4-0.
Exactly, but like
Yeah.
I get it.
Sure.
I get it. Like all these
I
series
know.
have been so close. It's all come down to a couple plays. Like Mad Cat at the gym was like, yeah, man, we could easily be 4-0 if we just didn't make a couple of mistakes.
Could easily be 0-4 as well.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's the other side of the coin.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. With Splyce right now, they have early advantage and early control of operations bunker, but the push is going to come in from the backside. It's going to be Pook trying to apply the pressure as Decimate hits in through the front. Decimate got into a nice angle where he should be able to cut down a couple of players that are hitting in the front side. He only gets 1 before he drops, but EnVy does ultimately get control from it.
No, and they had to right there, but you can already see that EnVy starting to think about that rotation. This is a big gunfight there. We have Chino. He helps out his teammate. Decimate runs by Mad Cat. Mad Cat a little bit more patient, had the positioning already. They're trying to find him. You can see Chino and Classic trying to find Mad Cat. Where is he sitting? And he's sitting in a bush right now, just hanging out. Doesn't have to do too much, waiting for that hill to pop, and well, he has help from Jordan now. Just Chino from the EnVy side. As he hops into the window, straight into a nade. Great rotation from Splyce.
Fantastic stuff, and that's what you said kind of stood out to you in that map 1, right? Early rotations, continuing to pay dividends for Splyce. In this map, I mean, honestly, just as crucial as something like St. Maria. A lot of hard points, you can pick up a lot of time with an early setup. Inside storage bunker, EnVy finally able to find something resembling control, and
Just
very
like that, it's
quickly
gone.
erased, though. Yep. Even though it's a team kill on Splyce, doesn't matter. They wipe out the rest of EnVy. Granted, they really have great control. They had 2 players, I think, in and around the hard point.
Yeah, we'll see. EnVy, when do they start to push towards office? That'll be the next hill. That left building on the mini-map where number 5 is Mad Cat. We're going to head to that next, which is 10 seconds here at Storage Bunker. And EnVy, they're trying to just push through this one. They're going to try and push through the back. So as those players stay alive, you can see what Classic's trying to do. They're trying to push the backside, but Splyce already here.
I think it's worth mentioning, though, that the 2 hard points, you've
Oh
had really good starts from Jerd. Like, what he was
That's true.
similar last time, I think, right around the same stat line. Like, kind of starts out double positive, a big part of why Splyce is able to get an early lead. And they need it this time. The first game, everyone was positive, right? Everybody was slaying out. Like, it was really strong all-around team performance from Splyce. But right now, Jerd, at least statistically, kind of putting the team in the backpack. He also has a minute 14 in the hard point as well.
Yeah, Chino, he was playing the back so well, but Splyce knew he was there and then win rotation. That was EnVy's chance to break on, and you can hear Josh getting loud.
He's excited.
Dead! Well, he's finding some kills, and Jerd's getting pushed out again. 15-6, make it 16-6. Jerd is frying today. This is what I wanted from him, though. We have not seen this Jerd in a very long time. I mean, he has been consistent, but not consistently.
It's the hot mic juice. It's the hot mic juice.
Maybe that's what it is.
Players, you come on hot mic, I promise you're going to play good that day.
Who else was on Hot Mic? App and Temp. We'll have to watch them today. We'll see how they're playing. But EnVy, they get that early rotation of smokestacks, finally.
They need time here. We got to bring this a bit closer. Chino gets picked out of the window. Thankfully, Classic able to find a couple of kills, but it doesn't matter. The early setup falls apart almost instantaneously here for EnVy.
And there's Jerd just not missing right now, 18-7. Once again, it just feels like Splyce came ready to play. They already had 150 points on this first side. On this first rotation of hills, doing such a good job. The break from EnVy trying to come through that middle alley, but it's so tough to do up that ramp. There's so many angles for Splyce players to find them. All 4 go down. Splyce is going to be at 175 points off the first rotation of hills. That is ridiculous.
2 hard points, 2 times they've enjoyed a 100-point advantage. Splyce
Holy moly.
has looked so good in these hard points and against a team that has been one of the shining stars in that particular game mode in EnVy.
They have been. Yeah, and maybe they've put so much emphasis on trying to get better at the other ones. You know, that happens from time to time. They have to refocus up on hardpoint. Josh, he's staying alive. He's finding kills. They're here first. They're just winning these rotations. EnVy's just off right now.
And this is looking like it might be a Game 4 blowout. 190-62. 35 seconds remaining in ventilation, and Splyce set up inside. Finally, the kill feed flashes blue for a moment. Classic, the reason why he picks up 3 of the 4 kills. EnVy will burst inside. But they have to win every rotation and get just about every bit of scrap.
Classic's alone. Like, he wins that, but he gets traded out. Here finally comes Hook. But Josh may be ready for this.
Do you know what Jerd ended up in the game 1? I know we talked about Josh Josh picked it up
I think
late.
it was around like 27 and 20.
Okay.
The
Just
Jerd's
curious.
already at 22. Guess who wins rotation operations bunker? It's not rocket science. It's really not.
It helps to rotate.
Definitely does. Chino, though, did sneak on by. He got through the back as those players, Josh and Bance, were focused on the far rotations. That does give Envy an opportunity, but Jerd making the heads-up play. He repinches Envy at the front.
A little bit of flank here. Pays off, finds a couple of kills. I think Chino tries to turn and react to Jerd's play, and Josh shoots him in the back. So Envy, it's like they have these just moments of control. The problem is they're very brief moments before Splyce is able to retake.
And I think a big thing is, I mean, we've talked about it, but Josh and Jerd have been the slaying duo in Hardpoint today. Typically, it's Bance and Madcat. Madcat's been the most consistent player for Splyce all year long. At Birmingham, it was Bance just going off, but the numbers right now,
Yeah, and
it's all Jerd and Josh.
And I don't think this Splyce team cares who's doing it as
Nope,
long
they're
as it's
just trying
getting
to
the
win.
victory. And they are very close. They can taste the victory right now. 21 more points needed. Josh and Madcat working together in the new hardpoint as well. I believe it's Chino up front that was trying to maybe contest or get in, not able to do it. And this game should be ending in a matter of seconds.
Yep, another rotation, won by Splyce. Envy are just a step behind right now. They are 2-1. This is a big win though for Splyce, gonna put them at 2-3 in the league.
Splyce, they need a big week 2, and they start off in a big way. They looked fantastic. I mean, one round away from really having a nice 3-0. I know the CTF ended up being close down the stretch, but to be fair, I mean, they ended that game kind of early when they went up 4-0.
I mean, they're hardpoint like damn good. Against one of the best hardpoint teams in the world.
And that's what I'm wondering if we're gonna find out. Like, did Splyce improve that much, or maybe were some weaknesses kind of spotted there on the NV side of hardpoint?
Maybe the weakness is,
They could have been rotating like that when they were going like 10-1 in Seattle.
maybe the weakness is 2:30 p.m. start time for Envy. You gotta adjust.
Could be. Well, that'll be our first one.
Well, some frustration from Gina. You don't see that too often.
I mean, that's the one thing we highlighted about this team when you made the new NV roster. These are going to be, I don't know, lots of smiles, lots of laughs. Like 4 guys that really enjoy playing. But yeah, you heard it again. The listening from the CTF, they were very, very flustered, and it's probably part of it could be you're not used to losing something like hardpoint. You come into a series and drop both. I'm sure there's some frustrations, but guys, we still have a ton of action today. That was only our first match of 5. The analysis is going to break it down next. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Folks, welcome back to the CWL Pro League, and we got a little bit of a theme going on here. We're going to be talking about slow starts on the desk right now. My name is Rich Campbell, and I'm joined by Revan and Nameless. And, you know, one of the teams that was off to a slow start was definitely Splyce. Right now, they start to pick things up a little bit. Before we actually talk about everything that went down, though, in that first series of the day, I want to just bring up the fact that they even mentioned it on things like Hot Mic. Look, they got roster changes, and they have EU practice. Nameless is someone who's played in situations like that. How hard can it be to really find your footing and kick things off in the Pro League?
I mean, well, look, right? When you're on a team that makes a roster change, you're not realistically supposed to be that good off the rip. You know what I mean? It's going to take time. So looking at a team like Splyce to make a roster change, I know we see a lot of these teams that are good initially. They're going to take a little bit to get better. You know, last week we seen them in a lot of really close games that they couldn't close out. They looked extremely good right there. And I think it might be a testament to the practice they're getting over here at the league. You know, they said they hooked up all their stuff day one. They got here a day earlier. I was speaking with them earlier, and that's what they told me. They were here one day earlier, scrimming, playing every day, getting that practicing against NA teams and trying to figure out how to play with their new pickup. And I think that's what's proven to be good for them right now.
I think that's something we need to think about as well as we move forward in the league. We know even when we head over to Division B, that's obviously going to be, there are a lot of roster changes going on. Those rosters having even more time to find their footing. Now, another thing that happened with Splyce, though, Revan, Game 5s. It was a really tough thing for them when you actually look how many Game 5s could have changed their fate.
Not just Game 5s. I mean, Search and Destroy in general. They start off the league, what was it, going 1-5 in Search and Destroy. Obviously, that's not a recipe for success. And I think a big thing that helped Splyce throughout that series against Envy is Mad Cat finally got some help. Coming into this series, he was by far and away the top performer on this Splyce lineup, and especially in that first map, the St. Marie Dumont Hardpoint, the SMGs really showed up for Splyce. They gave Mad Cat some help, they established some pressure on the map, and they took pressure off of Mad Cat's shoulder. He no longer had to be the hard carry for the Splyce lineup because he had players around him playing to their full potential.
Another thing I want to highlight is Jerd. You know, he started off that Valkyrie hardpoint 21-9. So, especially when Jerd's shooting like that, what are you going to do, right? He's a talented dude. He's a freak, and you can't do anything when you're playing against somebody who's gone off like that. So, shout out to Jerd. Definitely was playing amazing in that series, helping Mad Cat out.
I heard Maven tried to take credit for it by saying it was Hot Mic juice.
Oh,
that has just been. It's just been. Maven has managed to say so many stupid things around that show. It's truly impressive to me that he can keep going and never ceases to amaze us in this stupidity department. But let's move ahead and look at the schedule. We got the